Hey, not everybody, it's time to talk about Weekly Shonen Jump 2026, issue number 12. Akane-banashi takes the cover this week, and it looks beautiful. It's a very nice illustration. I love that dress Akane is wearing. It's so cool looking. Pretty big week, a lot of series. Elusive Samurai has ended as of this week, so lots to talk about. Let's just waste no time. Let's start talking about it. Akane-banashi Chapter 194, The Audience. Amazing color spread. Wow. This is one of my favorites, if I am remembering them all correctly, at least. It's just so neat. Like, I don't know a better way to describe it. It just looks so nice. Really cool colors, very interesting coloring choice. Beautiful, beautiful. Color pages and spreads are always amazing in Akane-banashi, but this one just goes an extra level. This is very, very nice. And the chapter itself, of course, was amazing. This is a classic example of a performance chapter with Roboco taking the stage. I mean, we already were seeing his performance last week as well, but this is really getting into the meat of it and showing us his unique spin on Rakugo in all of its glory. And it's a beautiful thing. This is so good. Like always, it is just such a great showcase of what this character is all about. And in this case, this is pretty much exactly what I talked about last week. It's similar sentiments, but I just love that Akane is able to learn from Roboco still. And it's easy to see this performance's place in the overall narrative. That this is the necessary step that Akane needs. She needed to see this to be able to understand the advice that Roboco previously gave to her and just what she needs to do to master this story and be able to compete with Kaisen later. Exciting times. I loved this chapter. It was phenomenal. So on Hertz Chapter 21, Master Eel Potato. This was really fun. I am a huge fan of all of these new characters, actually. This is what it's all about. This is just like, it's like a friend group at like your job. I don't know how many of you can relate to this exactly, but like I've done a lot of warehouse work in my life, so I'm used to working with people of all kinds of ages, completely different age brackets, but whenever you're in those four walls together working, that just becomes irrelevant information. You're like brothers at that point, working in that shitty ass environment all day long. And this is a different kind of situation, obviously. These are just people with the same interests, but it just reminds me of like coworker or friend groups of just like kind of like the 19-year-old, the 55-year-old, the 60-year-old, the 30-year-old. So I really like this dynamic of just all these. And I think the oldest guy here is like 49 or something, and they're just chatting. It's also very real in the sense that like the way they talk about it is just kind of, it just amounts to like saying moments to each other and being like, oh, I remember that one. Yeah, that's just classic. You know how many conversations I've had with people about various manga I've read where it's just that, just like, oh dude, remember when whatever happened in whatever manga? Like, yeah, I love that classic moment. It's just so real and human, and that's something I keep finding myself saying in regards to this series. It's just very naturally written, and I like getting to see Mime on his own trying to fit in here, and then of course we get Modulo coming in at the end, which will be cool. I'm really excited to see her specifically interact with these people, but I think it was a good decision to have Mime come in alone first. It's a more natural way to introduce these characters to us, whereas if they met Mizuho first, I think it would have been a different vibe, and maybe we wouldn't be able to focus in on each character's little quirks as well as we did here. And that's something we're still going to unpack over time. I'm sure these are all going to be mostly mainstay characters, but they showcase their little quirks and charms in a good enough way for now, but it'll get fleshed out soon enough, I'm sure. Really, really good chapter. I was surprised by this one.
Get this man a gun.
Sakamoto Days, Chapter 248, Alike. Not a whole lot to say about this chapter. It's just kind of Shishiba and Osaragi doing their fight, and it's cool. I'm glad that we're getting into this. We're just tying up loose ends at this point. We're just wrapping up all the other fights before we head back to Sakamoto and finish his fight and then end the series. We probably got a couple months left, man. I don't think this series is long for the world. It's definitely ending in the very near future, and that's fine. I like how this fight's going so far. I do think it's a little annoying how it's already longer than Nagumo versus Ogi, but what are you gonna do? I guess I can't rewrite history, but that's cool. I love a good team fight, even though it's 2-on-1. I still think that's a lot of fun. Pretty good stuff. Nothing major, but I liked it. One Piece, Chapter 1174, The Strongest Thing in the World. Damn, bold claim. So a good chunk of this chapter is actually incredibly grim and bleak. It's just about these kids walking to their deaths as their parents like embrace them one last time, and like it's because they're not allowing them to die alone. It's that's like a really intense thing for One Piece, honestly. And like obviously as it was happening, I don't think any of us thought that this was actually going to go through and happen, but still just even seeing that be written and drawn on the page is like, oh wow, okay. That's heavy. It worked out. Luffy's here riding on Loki, who looks insanely cool, dude. This is a ridiculously awesome zone fruit. I am really into this. I think it's one of the coolest designs I've seen. And it's featured on another double-page spread, which Oda has been doing a lot more lately, and that fills me with immense joy. I am so happy to see Oda doing color pages more consistently than he was before. Because he always felt kind of allergic to them for a while, at least traditional double-page spreads, like looking like this. He used to just cram them with a bunch of smaller panels and completely ruin them, in my opinion. But actually, lately has been giving moments like these their proper page space and showcasing them in a cool way, which is nice. Reminding me of old One Piece, the days of old. Yeah, I love this moment at the end. I know this is kind of stealing the spotlight of the whole chapter, but this is definitely the biggest thing to talk about. I love this page. These two pages, I guess. And I love that line from Luffy where he's just laughing and saying, I just can't get over how huge you are. That's awesome. It's so very Luffy to be in this situation and just laughing about how big this thing is. Cool chapter. It's off next week though, which is unfortunate, but what can you do? It happens. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo Chapter 22, Pathway of Souls. Ridiculous. This is just so damn cool, man. This is everything I could have wanted. Honest to God, I think I screenshot every single page. I love this. I love getting to see Yuji interact with Mahito again, and just Mahito being such a shit as per usual, and even getting the fight. I wasn't sure if this fight was going to happen. I kind of figured it probably would, and it does. It's just a very one-sided fight, but that's how it should be. Yuji passed him up years ago. So him coming back now in this state, no chance. He doesn't even get to use his domain, which is amazing. Of course, this stunning double page spread, dude. Wow. My jaw actually hit the floor when I got to this. This is insane. We're eating good, bro. This is some good shit. And the line, I like kind of got chills where Yuji says, damn, were you always this weak? Oh my God. Yuji's just the GOAT, bro. Beyond that, though, I did also really enjoy the conversations that Yuji and Maru shared about the intricacies of their plan. I thought that was actually super interesting and conveyed in a really engaging way, which surprised me because it's not like drawn particularly interestingly, but it was just a really fascinating conversation and moral dilemma that I don't think is exactly figured out yet. Because this last line that Yuji drops here kind of surprises Maru. So we'll see how this goes. This is really, really interesting stuff, though. I loved this chapter just the whole way through. It was a dream come true. This was just so damn cool, man. Didn't even know I wanted this, but here it is, and it's so cool. That's this whole series in a nutshell, but I am so glad we have it. Ichi the Witch, Chapter 70, One Last Dream. Another very good chapter, obviously. I think we've all been waiting to see what Ichi would end up doing with Bakugami, if anything, or what is it now? Bakjam? Backjam? I don't know how I'm supposed to say that, but I'm gonna keep saying Bakugami for the time being, because Backjam, Bakjam, I don't know. That doesn't exactly roll off the tongue no matter what you choose to pronounce it as. But this was a very cool payoff. I really enjoyed seeing him use Bakugami's ability. It was kind of powerful in a weird way. The moment that really got me in this whole situation is very simple. It doesn't even really end up being a big deal, but it kind of made me emotional. Just Ichi saying to Gokuraku that he's sorry before he uses Bakugami, because I mean, he's a good friend. He knows that he has a lot of trauma related to this thing, and he's about to just use the ability, the same one that tormented his entire village. That's just a beautiful thing. They have such a nice bond, and I just really, really like that he took the time to apologize to him before he used his ability. Again, a very simple interaction, but it just hit me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just in my feels today, but it worked. Really cool final impact, and then the kind of like Goku looking down on Frieza-esque look on Ichi's face. It's not quite that, but I really like that facial expression that Ichi gives after it's all over. It's definitely just like a face of like relief that it's over, but I don't know, just the framing of it made me think of that panel of Goku. And it's looking like Crow is probably about to bite the dust, which we saw coming, but it's still gonna hurt regardless. We'll see for next chapter. We're very, very close to the end of this arc at this point, and I don't know if I'm ready to see the end, because we all know what's coming. Brace for impact. Alien Headbutt Chapter 2, The Boy and the Wrestler. Still peak. I love these alien guys still. I love the pose they strut whenever they pull up. It's so cool. And the interactions with Oga and the kid. Really, really sweet interactions. And I love seeing Oga like slowly break this kid's shell down. Like these, obviously, I mean, this kid's been through hell, and Oga just being himself really is enough to get this kid to loosen up and tell him about what's going on and ease his mind by literally displaying that, yeah, he's built different. He can take these guys. And this gimmick, which I hope remains a gimmick about, you know, I don't know if it'll be this kid in particular forever, but if like being hyped up while fighting is a constant thing in this series by just people around him or whatever, that is gonna be amazing. That is such a fun idea. I love how into it the kid gets throughout the fight. He starts off like, bro, you can't do this. You cannot beat 3 of them. There's no way. And then as he continues to prove himself, he gets more and more into it. He's like, this is such a serious situation, but I can't help but feel hyped. I'm just into this. I love that. That is such a fun idea. Really cool chapter. It's continuing to impress me. I really think this is something special. I don't know. I know some of you don't agree. That's fine. We can have different opinions, but this is something. I really, truly believe that. It's a good batch all around. This was a really good batch so far of new series, but this is the best one to me, as of now. It could get worse. I don't know. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Very good chapter, once again. Shinobi Undercover Chapter 69, What I Can Do. Back-to-back 69s. That's crazy. Pretty good. You know, not the biggest Umineko fan in the world, as I previously discussed when he had that big fight like not even 10 chapters ago, by the way, because this pacing of this series is ridiculous. But I thought this was fun. I do like the kind of like mind games happening between the two of them. It's pretty entertaining, and his bond growing with his little ear guy, whatever they're called, operators, op. It's fun. I don't think the fight's over, is it? I don't. Maybe actually. I don't really know. The final hit didn't really feel too impactful. If that is the final hit, maybe there's more to this fight, but I don't know, dude. Again, the pacing is ridiculous in this series. I never know. But it was still a good chapter. I thought it was a fun time.
Doctor, doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of...
Under Doctor Chapter 4, Pro. Okay. Look, I'm gonna be a downer again. It's entertaining, okay? It's fun action. I like both of these characters. I don't remember the girl's. Oh, Chiwa. It's Chiwa. I just happened to look over and saw him say it. She was cool. Cool design. Cool fighting happening. Sign language guy's neat. I just don't really want this. I know, as I keep saying the same shit every week. I'm sure it's getting exhausting, but it's just how I feel. It's driving me crazy. I just want to see cool doctor stuff. But we got into this fight so fast. We only did doctor stuff for like 1 chapter, half a chapter, before this all breaks out into a fight. I want more like cool underground doctor stuff, like underworld criminal doctor. It's a cool concept. But it just keeps devolving into fighting. And I think that's lame as hell. I don't know, man. I'm not feeling it. I don't hate this series. I still enjoy reading it. I think it's fun. It's just not what I want at all. And it's kind of driving me nuts. I can't lie. I don't know. Just not one for me right now, unfortunately.
Feel the power of my magic!
All right, the Elusive Samurai final chapter, epilogue part 2 of 2. Really nice color spread, actually. I really like seeing pretty much every major character we've known in here. And the chapter itself, I gotta say, this worked for me. It did. I was not expecting much out of the ending because the series has let me down on multiple occasions in the very recent past. But the little closure we get in the real world, not hell or wherever, is nice. It's pretty much everything I wanted to know. It's just literally telling us the history, like the real world history, what happened to all these people and their bloodlines later. And then we spend most of the rest of the chapter just on Tokiyuki and the gang in hell, meet up with Yorishige, who I was never the biggest fan of, admittedly, but he's there. And now elaborating on this war that's happening in hell. So they get immediately caught up in another war in the afterlife. But Tokiyuki loves it. It's a paradise. He gets to run away from demons, like real demons, for the rest of his life. Not life, his afterlife. Fun. I think that's a cool way to end it. The final page, that's nice. It's a full circle thing. I thought that was pretty damn cool. So as a whole, this series let me down many, many, many times. But I enjoyed a fair amount of it. I think the anime is phenomenal so far. I'm really excited for season 2. Like, honestly, I think season 1 was a massive improvement of the source material on all fronts. So if that gets to continue to be an amazing adaptation, that will probably heighten my opinion of this series overall once that's like a finished product. But I don't have like a negative opinion on this series. Overall, looking back at it now, I just kind of have more of a neutral stance on it. I liked the stuff I liked, and I didn't like the stuff I didn't like. And there's probably more that I didn't like than liked, but there's some really memorable moments along the way that did stick with me, did affect me. And even if some of those moments were kind of squashed later, I still gotta respect that they made me feel something in the moment. Now, the Fubuki stuff, that's a tough one because, damn, it got completely ruined. Seriously, I was incredibly impacted by Fubuki's death. I thought it was so well done. I was so impressed. And then to bring him back with like very little fanfare even, no real explanation, he's just there. And that was awful. I hated that. And I never quite got over it. It kept affecting my enjoyment the whole way through to the end. On the whole, this is a fine series. I think it's perfectly serviceable. Maybe worth your time, maybe not. It's hard for me to really judge that. I don't think I would have read this if I didn't read everything in Jump already. It doesn't really seem like something I would have wanted to read. Like, you know, now that it's over, if this is something that had come out a while ago before I had caught up to everything in the magazine, I don't think there's any reason for me to have gone back to this. Art's really nice for the most part. Some weirdness along the way. But I had good times with this series, and I won't forget that. A lot of bad times, but the good parts are very memorable. And hey, I'm thankful for the good moments we got from it. Congrats to Yusei Matsui on another successful Jump series. That's insane that he keeps getting these bangers in the magazine. There's probably a lot to learn from this guy. A lot of the quotes from the mangaka this week in the magazine were all just like, I've learned so much from you, valuable member in the industry and all that. So he's definitely somebody who knows what he's doing. He knows how to make a hit, and I'm sure he will continue to create manga going forward. He's just not the type of person to stop, I don't think. So obviously, I'll be there for whatever he does next. He's certainly got his quirks that I'm not a huge fan of, but he's damn talented. You just can't help but admit it. He's a very talented mangaka with a lot of success to back up that claim. So there's got to be something there. Even if I don't completely see it, I can at least admire his craft. Good stuff. Nice ending. Can't complain. Kinato's Magic, Chapter 3, Introducing the Iron Fangs. This series is really impressive. I'm very impressed by this mangaka's growth since, what was the series called again? Oh shit. Damn. You know the one. Shadow Eliminators. There it is. I got there. Damn, that took me a minute. Because that series sucked. And this is such a massive improvement. It's funny, man. That's the biggest thing. It's so funny, like genuinely very funny, funnier than some of the gag manga running in here right now. I loved this chapter. I thought it was so fun. I love these new characters we're meeting. They got their quirks. It's very fun and funny and pretty fresh feeling. Like these aren't exactly tropes I've seen leaned into in this way before. This guy learned lessons from Shadow Eliminators, like big lessons on how to make a likable cast, how to make this memorable, and something you look forward to reading every week. And that is happening now. I like this a lot. I have nothing bad to say. So far, this is a really damn good series. Really cool character designs, hilarious, fun. I don't know if it'll end up taking itself seriously at some point in time, but like, I don't know. I'm down for whatever it wants to do. I'm on board. This is a really fun series. I'm very, very impressed. It's also worth keeping in mind, though, that my expectations were at like actual rock bottom for this series. So, I mean, I might be easily impressed, but I really think even if they weren't, this would still be an impressive series. It's good. Give it a shot. Blue Box Chapter 230, In Sickness and in Health. Adorable. Oh my god, my heart melted. This is a lovely, lovely chapter. I literally love every page of it. It's just so nice to see these two have a normal date, spend time with each other. It's been a while since we've got to see this. So having such a big chapter just entirely focused on it is lovely. I really like the moment of Taiki saying that he would like to continue playing badminton in college. That's pretty cool. I kind of figured that would happen, but it's cool to see him admit it. And that smile she gives him after he says it is, it's so cute. Man, such a beautiful thing. And the kiss and repeating wedding vows to each other, it's just adorable, man. I'm sure we've all had moments in relationships that are similar to this, and it's written in such a realistic and believable way that it's very easy to relate to something like this. Obviously, it's very romanticized and grand. It's happening like on this Ferris wheel that if you kiss at the top, you're guaranteed to break up or whatever. And they're like, fuck all that. We're different. We're above that. So cute. Very, very wholesome. I loved this chapter. It made my heart feel good. You know, it's so sickeningly sweet almost. Kagurabachi Chapter 112, Future. Okay. Awesome stuff. Samura could come back, I guess. So I guess I was partly right last week. Interesting. I'll be curious to see how that goes. Reforging N10, basically. That is really damn cool. Like, doing swordsmith stuff. This is stuff we haven't really touched on since Chapter 1, which is so exciting. And then, I know I'm skipping a lot. It was a really cool chapter, but I really just want to talk about the end of Part 1. Bravo, dude. I clapped when I got it. I was just like, man, let's go. That is so cool. This feels monumental. And we get a chapter next week, so we get to see what Part 2, how it's set up like immediately, which is nice. Part 1, what a part it was. So I imagine we're going to get like a time skip starting next chapter, which would make a lot of sense. I don't know how major of a time skip, but we'll probably have to kind of get used to some new status quo, new statuses for all the characters, and things that happened that we didn't get to see. It's kind of like, you know, in between Star Wars movies, there's time that we don't know what happened, but you can easily infer, or they'll talk about it. That's what I'm imagining Part 2 starting like, but I could be wrong. We'll see. Regardless, that was just so cool to end it off like this. I'm so excited about the prospect of a whole Part 2 of the story. Lot of potential in giving like a kind of soft refresh to the series. This is going to be a great time. I'm very, very excited. This was a really cool chapter. Not like chapter of the week material or anything, but that moment of just Part 1 end. I love this swordsmith stuff so much. I'm so happy to see Chihiro doing this, taking up his father's mantle, like for real now. Very, very cool. Full circle. Hima-Ten Chapter 78, Third School Term. Really speeding along here. We get literally every girl. It's like all of them. The whole, everyone is here in this chapter doing something. I really do feel like we are going to be wrapping up kind of soon, weirdly. Like, we're at least getting there. Like, we're on the path to the end right now. Everything seems to be coming to a head. We're going to get Honoka stuff soon, which will probably lead into, like, him, the future narration we got from him, which is like, didn't work out or whatever, didn't end up working out. Good to see why that is and why he'll almost certainly get with Himari. Got to touch on Kana again, which is interesting. Not really a whole lot of developments there, and even he may know. Bleh. This was a good chapter. It just felt like really scatterbrained, which I wasn't exactly prepared for. I still liked it. It's just, damn, like, I really think this is kind of speeding towards its end. And like, come on, dude, that bonus comic at the beginning, that's just, you're just throwing Kana in for... It's basically the equivalent of clickbait in manga form. And she even admits, like, and I know it's just like her talking in character, but this is very clearly, I think, like a cheeky nod to the fact that like her pinups are what made that one volume, I don't know, volume 7 or maybe it was 8, sell so well because it was just her in a bikini on the cover. But the line she says is volume 8, where my pinups do a lot of heavy lifting, is now on sale. Yeah. They know. Whatever. That's just how the series is, I guess. Gotta do what you can to stick around, and I guess Kana's the thing that's keeping it afloat. In Roboco Chapter 269, wow, another 69, that's crazy. Gorilla and Gushing. Okay. This was a fun chapter. It's the gimmick. I honestly kind of figured we would get something like this. It's only natural to have like the, oh, friends dating, now he's, not spending time with us, he's changing, he's not used to the relationship, whatever, yada yada. I feel like I've seen this 1,000 times. This is just something that's a necessary step whenever you have two characters start dating. But it worked. It was pretty funny and true to life in some ways, obviously extremely exaggerated, but this shit does happen for real. Like this is a very common thing to happen in life. But he's back to normal by the end of it, because I mean it's a gag manga. We're not gonna make any permanent changes to people like that. This was fun though. I had a good time. Witch Watch Chapter 236, Bone Crisis Part 5. I don't really have much to say about this one. This wasn't as fun as the last one. This stuff with Kanchi is interesting with the agent or whoever, this girl that works with Celebrity Man, I forget his name. I think this is neat. This seems like it'll be a fight. Like Kanchi's about to fight him, which might be cool. There's potential there for sure. I can't really remember the last time we've seen like a Kanchi fight in any kind of like serious capacity. So that's cool. I don't super care, but it's neat. I'm down to see it. We'll see how it goes. And any Kanchi focus is good, in my opinion. He's one of the most entertaining characters, no matter what he's doing in this series. So I'll take it. I don't know if this is the best move for him, but I just gotta wait and see. Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi, Chapter 80, Mr. Tosaka, the Exorcist. Now we're talking, dude. This was perfect. I'm eating this shit up. This is so awesome. Oh my god. I love everything about this. Making Cook a phoenix. Ah, dude, that is perfect. That is so perfect. And I love how he still has his dumb face even in phoenix form. Incredible. I love everything about this. This is perfect. I'm gonna gush all over this thing. Obviously, I'm a huge Tosaka fan, so seeing this is like, oh my god. I was already happy with the stuff we got before, but now giving him this sick ass Phoenix mode for Cook, that looks rad as hell. Oh my god. That final double page spread, holy shit. I guess it's not exactly a spread because it's got the other panels on the side, but you know what I mean, whatever. Peak. I loved this chapter. I'm so happy Tosaka's finally getting justice. He got shafted for most of this arc thus far, but now he's getting time in the spotlight and it is glorious. This is the best fight so far? Hell yeah, dude. I'm so pumped about this. Tosaka and Cook are the GOATs. Nobody will ever top them. Undefeated champs.
What are you doing, step bro?
Anyways, Exorcist Chapter 133, Trust. So I have basically nothing to say about this chapter. The dumb plan. We basically spend this chapter talking about things that will not happen. It's just like this stupid plan, like, oh, I'm gonna disguise myself as you, do whatever with Kakuro and fake your death, whatever. I don't even know what he was talking about really. Despite that, I do actually like the last page or 2 pages here where he's yapping and about to do this plan, about to set it in motion, and then Kakuro just immediately comes up and decapitates him after like being like, what's he gonna do? There's no way he can do anything. That was kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. Ultimately, this is a pointless chapter. It's talking about like effectively nonsense because none of this shit's gonna happen. I get it's all set up to make this moment work, so I get it, but still doesn't make it any less pointless of a chapter. Whatever. It's New A. You know how it goes. Hero Girl and Demon Lord Call It Quits, Chapter 13, The Hero, the Demon Lord, and School. This actually wasn't bad. This is probably one of the better ones recently. I thought it was fun enough. The neat little concept and a cool, at the end, I like this subtle nod to Elusive Samurai in the same week it ends. Obviously they knew it was going to end, and I'm sure in the Japanese, the thing she says, like, hey Demon Lord, make sure you catch me, I bet that's more of a direct reference to Elusive Samurai, like the demon come my way kind of thing, but I could be wrong about that, I don't know, but it was definitely a reference regardless. The facial expression and the pose, that is so Tokiyuki. So I thought that was cool. It's just a nice little subtle reference, which I enjoyed. And that spread, a lot of spread talk this week, but this spread was cool, actually. I thought that's a really dynamic shot, and the cool sword explosion in the back looks pretty rad. Yeah, fun time. Really, I can't complain about this one. I'm usually kind of pessimistic about this one, but I thought that was fun. Mage Next Door, Chapter 14 of Soegawa versus Addressing. More fun times, you know. It's about all I can say about this one. It wasn't super substantial or anything really noteworthy, but I thought it was still fun. It's the same kind of action you come to expect. Water gun in full effect, looking good. Really nice, fluid action. It was pretty easy to read. It looks nice. Very, you know, you can feel the speed and the impact of the hits, which is always appreciated. Yeah, just a good time. Not a lot of meat to chew on here, but I thought it was fun. Can't go wrong. Justice for this series, man. It's getting done so dirty.
Can I offer you a nice egg in this trying time?
Gonron Egg Chapter 15 in the blink of an eye. This guy gave up, man. Like, seriously. The art is so rough. The story's nonsensical. I don't. What am I? What can I say? Look at these last 2 pages. I'll just put the whole thing up on screen. It's just like mediocre drawings and speed lines. I think the background artist also gave up. I don't know, man. This is just rough to read at this point. I'm ready to see it leave. It's gonna be the first out. It's just, I don't know, 3 weeks or so left. I'm excited to see how it reaches its conclusion. It's gonna be dumb as hell. It's already dumb as hell, so it's probably gonna get even dumber and more shitty looking. What a bizarre series, man. This is just so weird. I don't understand why this exists. Alright, that's going to do it for Weekly Shonen Jump 2026, issue number 12. Another very, very good issue. Jump is killing it lately. I'm feeling very optimistic about it, especially with this new lineup of 3 series. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Underdoctor, I guess, but it's still better than a lot of stuff we've gotten lately. They're starting the year off strong. I know the last batch is not looking to be very successful, but once they clean that up, they've probably get all 3 of them out of here, which sucks for Mage Next Door in my opinion, but it's what it is, I suppose. Regardless, I think once they clean up the lineup a little bit, it's gonna be a really solid lineup in this magazine, man, especially if we're getting Hunter x Hunter back soon. Dude, even if it's just another 10-week batch, just 10 weeks of having Hunter x Hunter in the magazine alongside this really good lineup, that's good stuff. I can't complain. I think they're kind of crushing it right now. I haven't felt this hopeful about Shonen Jump in a while. Looking good. Keep it up. But as per usual, even in a banger issue like this, one series reigned supreme. This was a toss-up, I'll admit, but coming out on top this week as my chapter of the week is Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi Chapter 80, Mr. Tosaka the Exorcist. It's peak. It's peak, guys. It's so good. This is everything I wanted, and it's perfect. I loved it. This is my favorite character in the series, as I already discussed. I love this new Phoenix form for Cook. It's perfect. So perfect. It's genius. I can't help but give it chapter of the week. This series doesn't get it often. I don't even know if I've given it to it on this show before, but to me, it deserves it this week. That's my goat right there. Show him some love. All right, as for next week, for issue number 13, Which Watch is going to take the cover? One Piece will be off. Got back to the... Well, it'll be 19 series next week, actually, but after that, it'll be back to the normal 20, because Elusive Samurai just ended. Exciting stuff. Witch Watch covers are always nice, so that'll be cool. So that's going to do it. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment with your thoughts on this issue of Shonen Jump. Let me know your favorite chapter of the week, your least favorite chapter of the week, or anything else you want to tell me about from this issue. Remember, you can also become a channel member at 2 tiers, the first being the Nice Prisoner tier, which gets your name put in the credits sequence, as well as early access to new videos, and the Super Nice Prisoner tier, which gets you both of those things, as well as your name read out loud right now. So thank you to DJ Tenga and Hexen Institute and Milu Kitty, Braden Farrell, Halfpipe, Rafker, The Cosmic 64, Cosmic, Key to the Skies, Iliadis, Noobs Rock, and Dan the Man. Thank you all so much for your support, and thank you all for watching. And I will see you guys in whatever you decide to watch next. Take it easy, guys.